Brace yourself for the most heart-wrenching moments in football history. Witness the career-ending misses that left fans in shock and players devastated. Are you ready to relive these unforgettable blunders? Number 8. Fernando Torres. With Chelsea 3-1 down at Old Trafford in a game against Manchester United, Fernando Torres missed a very good chance. For a player of his class, such a slip is horribly embarrassing, but for the rest of us, it brings two key benefits: an immediate, instinctive giggle, followed by a million pub discussions about where it ranks in all-time misery. For those who don't remember, Torres danced his way around David De Gea, and then, with the goal gaping, spanked his left foot shot inexplicably wide. Shocking, isn't it? Number 7. Asamoa Gan. Former Ghana captain. Asamoa Gan has reiterated that the penalty miss during the 2010 World Cup still haunts him, expressing his willingness to retake the penalty if given the chance. Speaking on Onua TV, Gan visibly displayed his regrets, reflecting on the significant miss against Uruguay in the quarterfinals, a moment etched in football history. Gan had the opportunity to propel Ghana into the semi-finals, potentially making them the first African country to achieve such a milestone. However, his failure to convert the penalty in the last minute of extra time led to Uruguay's victory in the subsequent penalty shootout, denying Ghana the chance to progress. Addressing the incident, Gan expressed his longing for a second chance, stating, "That penalty was meant to be. My leg was supposed to be in a certain position to kick the ball in a certain way, but I didn't get it well." Number 6. Roberto Baggio. Roberto Baggio missed a decisive penalty in the 1994 World Cup final that led to Italy's 3-2 defeat to Brazil in the penalty shootout. After the miss, the Italian forward stood at the penalty mark for a long time, lowering his head. It was a miss that haunts Baggio's career. Roberto Baggio wrote in his autobiography, "It was the toughest moment of my career. Before I left for the finals, my Buddhist spiritual master told me that I would be confronted with a lot of problems and that everything would be decided at the very last minute. At the time, I didn't realize his prediction would be so accurate." He continues, "As for the penalty, I don't want to brag, but I've only ever missed a couple of penalties in my career, and they were because the goalkeeper saved them, not because I shot wide. That's just so you understand that there is no easy explanation for what happened at Pasadena. When I went up to the spot, I was pretty lucid, as much as one can be in that kind of situation. I knew Taffarel always dived, so I decided to shoot for the middle, about halfway up, so he couldn't get it with his feet. It was an intelligent decision, because Taffarel did go to his left, and he would never have got to the shot I planned. Unfortunately, and I don't know how, the ball went up 3 meters and flew over the crossbar. As for taking the penalty in the first place, I was knackered, but I was the team's penalty taker. I've never run away from my responsibilities. Only those who have the courage to take a penalty miss them. I failed that time, period. And it affected me for years. It was the worst moment of my career. I still dream about it. If I could erase a moment from my career, it would be that one." Number 5. Gonzalo Higuain. Prior to 2022, Argentina's last shot at World Cup glory came in 2014, when Lionel Messi and Comer faced Germany in the final. Mario Götze was the hero for Germany that day, netting an extra-time winner, while Argentina striker Gonzalo Higuain was dubbed the villain by some for a decisive miss early in the match. It was a miscued shot that came to haunt Higuain for years as the South Americans fell agonizingly short of the title. Just 21 minutes into the 2014 World Cup final, Higuain was presented with an opportunity he would have scored from 9 times out 10. Germany's Toni Kroos headed the ball right into Higuain's path in the final third, who then only had the goalkeeper to beat. Higuain opted not to take a touch, instead striking the bouncing ball for the first time from the top of the box. Unfortunately for him in Argentina, he didn't strike the ball cleanly enough, with his shot going a meter wide of goal. That would be Argentina's best chance of the game, with Germany ultimately finding the sole goal with just 7 minutes of extra time remaining. Number 4. Yakubu. On June 22, 2010, the Nigerian and South Korean international football teams met at the Moses Mabhida Stadium in Durban in the final group stage match of Group B. So far in the World Cup, Nigeria has had a major disappointment, losing 1-0 to Argentina and 2-1 to Greece, and could have only advanced to the round of 16 if they won their final match against South Korea. In the match between Nigeria and South Korea, Nigeria took an early lead in the 12th minute off of a great finish by by Kalu Uche after a low cross from Chidi Odia. However, goals from Lee Jung-soo and Park Chu-young gave South Korea a 2-1 lead, which looked to be enough for South Korea to advance into the round of 16. However, Nigeria got a chance in the 66th minute that the Super Eagles will probably never forget. On the end of a pass from Ayila Yusuf that was fed through the South Korean defense was none other than Yakubu Ayegbeni, who was one of the most accomplished players in Nigerian international football history and a star player for Everton of the English Premier League. Once the pass found Yakubu's foot about 4 yards away from the empty goal, Yakubu pushed the ball wide of the left post to keep South Korea ahead 2-1. 3 minutes later, Yakubu was able to calmly finish a penalty to knot the score at 2 apiece, but the damage was done as Nigeria was unable to score again, and the match ended in a 2-2 draw. With this result, Nigeria was eliminated from the 2010 World Cup with just 1 point, while South Korea advanced into the round of 16 with 4 points, and Yakubu became one of the most hated players in the world. Number 3. ChupoMoting. The Cameroon international's unfortunate intervention denied the Parisians the chance to lift the French top-flight title. Paris Saint-Germain forward Eric ChupoMoting apologized for his horror miss in their 2-2 stalemate with Strasbourg. The former Stoke City player, who opened the scoring on his 6th League One start, had an opportunity to grab a brace but inexplicably blew the chance. Christopher Nkunku's chipped effort was going in until the then 30-year-old bent on guiding the ball in and took a bad touch on the goal line to see his effort hit the post. The miss denied Thomas Tuchel's men a chance to win the trophy at the Parc des Princes on Sunday, and the Cameroon international feels sorry for his action. "I thought Nkunku was going to give it to me, and that I thought the defender was going to get it," ChupoMoting said. "I wondered if I was offside, and it all happened very fast. I touched the ball, it hit the post, and, well, it's a real shame because the ball was going in. Sorry about that." Number 2. Arjen Robben. An hour into a hard-fought 2010 final between Netherlands and Spain, it was clear that one goal would prove decisive for two teams looking to win their first World Cup. When Wesley Sneijder's incredible pass found its way through the Spain team and into the feet of Arjen Robben, the key moment seemed to have arrived, but the Orange attacker scuppered his chance, seeing his shot bounce off of Iker Casillas' hip and out. It was Andres Iniesta who seized the day late in extra time when he knocked it past Martin Stekelenburg to confirm a glorious era for La Roja. Robben, meanwhile, was left to regret his missed chance, which haunts him still. "It is part of sport, just a moment, a snapshot," Robben said later, "but it will be part of me and part of my career for all of my life." Number 1. Christian Vieri. Italy had played through hell to make it to the dying minutes of their second-round tie against South Korea in 2002 and still have a chance of going through. The two sides played out a brutal encounter in a controversial game that became tarnished by claims of corruption due to favorable refereeing towards the co-hosts throughout the tournament. They managed to maintain a first-half lead until the 89th minute when Seol Ki-hyeon equalized. With 30 minutes of extra time looming, Italy wanted the game wrapped up quickly and responded immediately with a golden opportunity when a low cross rolled towards Christian Vieri at the back post. It was Vieri who had opened the scoring, and he was the perfect man to take on the chance, but he sent it sailing over the bar in Baggio-esque fashion. Despite Francesco Totti's dismissal in extra time, Italy seemed to score the golden goal, only to have it disallowed before South Korea went on to kill the game off.